Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation, we will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Back into left field, say goodnight to that baseball.
This is another one, it's back to back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. Needs a point, and it's alive. Hansen pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
It is time for game number 2 of our doubleheader, and this one has everything on the line. If Release wins, they stay in second place in the WRCL, but if T3 gets the win, they would jump the home team and sit behind the Stark County Terriers as competition begins to heat up in the WRCL, as you are watching WRCL Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Hello, friends. Once again, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening, live from Fisher Field on the campus of Baldwin-Wallace University. Beautiful night for baseball, a beautiful game number 1. Of course, down the stretch, the shades starting to come out, and for all the equipment, I'm sure very grateful to have that shade. But it's go time for game number 2. T3 pretty much a whole new roster here with the exception of a few new guys. It's a line change. It's not hockey, it's baseball, but it still works out in the end. First pitch will be thrown at around 6:30 as it'll officially clock in at 6:24. And out number 1 will not. It bounces off of his glove, and that'll be a long infield or rather just outside the infield, I'm going to say 5. Didn't see exactly who got over there to make that play or try to make that play. But either way, it'll be a leadoff error for Brett Krugman. Just bounced right in and out of the glove, and that'll bring us on over to Krayhoff. error. I would say pretty cruel to call it that, but of course, dropped it. It was just high in the sun. That was the big issue there. But a 0-1 count to begin on the center fielder. Andrew Reynolds looking to settle in after a rocky first pitch to no fault of his own. But he has figured it out nicely on his home diamond. 2 quick strikes on the center fielder. Still looking to make his BW debut this upcoming season. The 0-2 from Reynolds, swing and a miss. And after a rocky start, he gets the strikeout on 3 consecutive strikes. That's how he needs to respond from here on out today. To any adversity, just nail it down, and I'm sure he can take some inspiration from his first baseman, Holcomb, who did a nice job of that in game number 1. But Andrew Reynolds, the rising senior out of St. Vincent St. Mary High School and Baldwin Wallace University, was a part of that last team before Ben Shepard took over at St. V's and has really redefined the program in Akron, making it to the regional semifinals this past year before bowing out to rivals Hoban 10-0. The 1-0, a good miss for ball 2. It'll be Jake Young catching this game, now stepping in for the first time. The rising sophomore out of Mount Union, a .273 average this past season for the Purple Raiders. The 2-0 tipped back. As we mentioned in game number 1, a replacement not only for Daniel Tome at Mount Union behind the plate, but as well on this T3 roster. Pretty much just doing exactly what Tome did last year. And of course, Tome moving over to shortstop, still an All-American at the end of the day. That ball airmailed and sailing into right field. It'll be at least 1 free base for Krugman, and he will just stop at the 1. A massive free base given up here. And the first run of game number 2 for T3 now stands in scoring position. That's one of those you have to be careful about. We see those throwbacks all the time go haywire, especially at the high school level. But the same issues definitely can be there at the collegiate. And there was Exhibit A. The 2-1, good rip over towards short. Throw to third. It's going to be in time for the outs. A big heads-up play at short there for Bortnick. 2 down. You get the lead runner. It'll be a fielder's choice in the end. That's what you want to see, a heads-up play out of your shortstop. Knew exactly where to turn and picked up his third baseman, Shag, quite nicely. Good communication on the left side of the infield for out number 2. And that'll bring us to the EH in Leo Soneson. An amazing campaign this year for Lorain County. Transferring in from Mount Ian at the halfway point of the season. Ended up for Lorain County batting .309 with 26 RBIs, 5 doubles, and 5 home runs. He was outstanding. I believe it was 2 weekends ago now, guest played for Force Mancuso in their first tournament, assembling an Avengers-esque squad, joining forces with his former shortstop and Cooper Russell. Now going off to Division I Brown University. Soneson, hard grounder over towards third. Shag will pick it up, and his throw to second is on the money for the out and to retire the side. Back-to-back smart fielder's choices from the left side of the infield gets released out of the first inning. To the bottom of the frame we go. It is Trobenner, Mighton, and Bortnick 1-3 duo for release in Game 2 of our doubleheader.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Fisher Field. No score in game number 2 as you are watching WRCL Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. On the mound in game number 2 for T3, it is going to be the redshirt sophomore out of Seton Hill College and Midview High School in Joey Melendez. He'll get the nod today as, again, this T3 team pretty much flips the script and brings in a whole new roster for game number 2. And it'll be A.J. Trebenta remaining in the leadoff role for release in game number 2. And the first pitch he sees will skip away from the catcher for ball 1. It'll be Melendez and Young as your battery, followed by Perkins at first, Lear at second, Krugman at short, Carpenter at third, Muratori is in left, Freyhoff's in center, and Kreider is in right to set up the defense. And there is out number 1, a nice ground out to Lear. Simple put out for him. Hard hit ball from Trebenter as always, but good defense again from T3, and that defense is really what put them through game number 1. It kept Release's offense at bay until they could figure it out in the end. And a lot of that did come from Taylor's pitching, getting those 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. And you look at the way that game ended up developing. Really, anybody else in that spot, odds are, I'd probably say convincingly, Release at least has a better chance of winning that game, and at least probably scores 1 with the bases loaded in that 7th inning. The 0-1, a weak chopper over towards third, but rolling foul. So a quick 0-2 count on L.A. Mighton, the catcher from game number 1, moving over to second base for game number 2. Having 2 high caliber and high quality catchers is huge for this Release team going forward. By that time, a swing and a miss. Melendez gets his first strikeout of the day, and it's 2 up, 2 down to begin the bottom of the first. Both pitchers with a strikeout so far in this one. And that'll bring us to Braden Bortnick in the 3 spot. For shortstop, a nice play defensively in the top of the first inning. But so far, so good for Joey Melendez. Pitching quite well, but of course, it is going to be a long game for both teams, especially if the offenses are quiet. Of course, you have to keep in mind these guys coming out here trying to have some fun in the summer, but also trying to get better at the same time. You might not have the institutional pressure that you would have during the scholastic season, but of course, there is still an expectation of performance all across the board. As I've said countless times and will continue to say this season, a good spring comes from a good summer. And there is the late strike call on Braden Bortnick. He's definitely a guy playing for some offers after this coming year at Tri-C. The 3-1 will back him out, and in the end, again, they will call the strike. 2 inside strikes to Bortnick, and we will run full. If the inning continues, we would see Andrew Karhoff in the DH spot, and Bortnick, a good piece into left center field, will fall in the gap for extra bases. Our first extra base hit of the day. Bortnick, he wants to make it a triple. The relay won't be in time, and it'll be a 2 outstanding triple for Braden Bortnick. A big swing for the rising sophomore at Tri-C. Just dropped that one perfectly in the gap. And now a chance for Karhoff to bring in the opening run of game number 2. Those are the swings that can make a difference. Bortnick just places it perfectly, and from there, just uses his speed to cruise around the bases, and now stands 90 feet away. And it's a 1-0 count as well on the former 3-time All-Ohioan and Andrew Karhoff. The 1-0 from Melendez, a good take high. After Karhoff, it goes to Miller. Just when it looked like you were going to get a quick 1-2-3 inning, now Melendez has to battle to even get out of here. Well, that'll help swing and a miss from Karhoff. It really just shows how quick baseball as a sport can change. We've seen it so many times over the past couple of seasons. No different in the summer. Stakes definitely different, but the way the game is played, not really. Again, Joey Melendez just needs to dial it back up and do what he did against Mighton and Trebenter. His 3-1 Karhoff gets jammed up and will poke it high in the sky over towards first, and Perkins will easily make the grab to retire the side. A nice 2-out triple from Braden Bortnick is in vain as Perkins gets the final out of the first. To the second inning we go, and just like in game number 1, no score through 1 at Fisher Field.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Five, 6, and 7 due up for T3 in the top of the second inning. Perkins, Carpenter, and Lear due up as they look to give T3 an early lead in game number 2. Perkins a good take on the first pitch. This past season for Mount Union, a .355 average with 13 RBIs, 4 doubles, and 2 stolen bases. Played at first base for the majority of the season, splitting time with former state champion and Aaron Tucker over at West Branch. And we'll look to try to battle for that number 1 spot, uncontested next season. Of course, now a big question on the opposite side of the corners at third with Drew Denham now transferring out to Kent State. A big gap for Paul Hesse to try and have to fill this upcoming season, but there is ball 4 to Perkins. And speaking of that big gap to fill, here comes Jared Carpenter. A rising senior at Mount Union playing third base, a good run over at Capital a few years back, a really good pitcher for them. A .142 ERA and 12 2/3 innings of work in 11 appearances. However, didn't get any game time this past season for the Purple Raiders. And just going back to that team, program record 32 wins, another good competitive season. The future's bright for them, of course, but of course, on top of that, you have to keep in mind BW is still going to be the team to beat in the OAC. Carpenter, he will get jammed up over towards first, and there is the easy catch for Reynolds. So 1 down now, as that'll bring us to Lex Lear, the second baseman. But finishing my Mount Union thought, this team can still be uber competitive next year. You have the pitching to go far. You had a really good freshman class come in, and you have another really good freshman class this year. You have the pieces in place to go and make a run. You just need everybody to buy in and be willing to play their roles. Lear, a good swing, fouling that one away. On the opposite end, Hiram trying to rebuild and make a playoff push over the next couple of years. But they have recruited well, and they are definitely on the right track. The 0-1 from Reynolds taken, and Perkins will take off and take his base easily at second. So a free pass now, a 1-1 count on Lear as well. You move him into scoring position. Now you just have to try and knock him in. Wouldn't be surprised to see him try to get a little bit extra over at second. Here's the 1-1, and Lear will foul it back. Good contact from Lex so far, getting aggressive. I think T3 realized after game number 1, just given how we saw things go, if you're going to sit back and complacently wait, you're not going to go anywhere. Unless you go and get aggressive, you're not going to do anything in this game. And they have gotten a lot more aggressive in game number 2, albeit a small sample. But going forward, it has to be sustained. They can't go out here, have one inning where they swing and go back to taking a bunch of really close pitches. They have to be willing to go out here and be the aggressor. The 2-2 Lear, did he go? The answer is yes, 2 down. Andrew Reynolds will get his second strikeout of the day, and that'll bring us to Darren Kreider, the right fielder. Kreider, the rising sophomore at Ohio Wesleyan, went 0-9 this past season, but a really good player and just overall athlete back in the day at North Olmsted. Total of, I believe, 7 letters 4 in baseball, 3 in cross country, and was a 2-time honorable mention all-conference member for both sports. So really consistent in the fall and spring. And the winter just worked on perfecting his craft. 1-1 count here on Kreider. If the inning does go beyond the right fielder, we would see Dominic Muratori, the left fielder, who sits in the on-deck circle getting ready to go. Reynolds trying to close it out. The 1-1 is driven into right field and will be caught by the second baseman, Mighton. A nice job tracking that one down in a shallow right center to retire the side. Early runner via the walk. Perkins unable to come around and score. Middle of 2 at Fisher Field. Score remains 0-0 in the WRCL.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Brock Miller leads off for release in the bottom of the second inning. Got to see him pitch in game number 1 in the 7th inning. Slowed it down and was able to get a few strikeouts for release. Now back in his natural habitat in the field, out and left. Melendez's 0-1 is there for strike 2. After Brock Miller, it turns over to Ryan DeLulo and then Grant Schlag. So 5, 6, and 7 due up this inning. The heart of the order for release. Of course, you go back to the last game. Defense dominated it. Your magic number in the back of your mind, at least right now, is 4 runs to get out of here with a win. At least. Your offense just needs to put the pieces together in a more consistent way. You have that triple, which, of course, the first extra base knock of the day is huge. You just need to build off of it and get it done a little bit earlier on in the inning. The 2-2 misses, and from 0-2 to full at 3-2 we go. A great battle here from Brock Miller, trying to get on with a leadoff walk or at least something. And he will opt for the walk. There is ball 4. Good patience in the batter's box from Brock Miller. And that'll put a runner on for Ryan DeLulo. DeLulo batted right around Brock Miller in game number 1. Looking for a big game number 2, moving over to center field. The redshirt sophomore out of Youngstown State and high school-wise out of Poland Seminary. Of course, the Bulldogs, another really good season. One of those really consistent groups out of the Youngstown area. A lot of teams kind of in and around that range, like a Canfield who just seems to be good at everything. Of course, pulling that kind of team on a lower stage. I believe a Division 5 group. There's still plenty of talent, and we'll be heading off to YSU again in the fall. Here's the 1-1 DeLulo will take. Of course, after summer ball, you have to think, okay, you're a couple of weeks away from fall camp to get ready for the spring season. It's a quick turnaround for these athletes, especially after competitive play is done. Swing and a miss from DeLulo on the 2-1. Of course, on this release team, it is a bunch of younger college guys at the oldest, with the exception of your starting pitcher, pretty much rising juniors and below, which is a good sign of things to come for this group and as well for these guys in their career. Plenty of time to build up to what they can be at the collegiate level. And of course, it doesn't necessarily come right away. You just have to be patient and wait for your turn. Full count of 3-2 on DeLulo. And he will fly this one into shallow right field. Has a chance to get down. But in the end, will die on the infield. And they are going to double him up in the end. A high hanger. And it is going to go down, I believe it was a 4-3 double play for the first 2 outs of the inning. An interesting one. I think when Lear caught it, he did not expect an opportunity to get a second. In the end, was able to do just that. Just watching it back. Actually, it is going to go down as a 4-1, not a 4-3, as that was Melendez with the cover. But really an interesting way to double them up. That's one that Release will definitely want to have back if they could. But Melendez and company definitely will take it. In the third, for T3, it'll be Muratori, Pierce, and Krugman. 9-10-1, just like the last game. T3 using the EH. Release, not so much. Of course, there are some positives and negatives to both. The positive, you get an extra impact guy in the lineup, but the negative, if one of your guys is really, really high, you get to see him a little less often. Not by much, but it does add up over time. Good swing, but fouled back by Shag. In the on-deck circle, it is Holcomb, followed by Tommy Hash, the right fielder. Score remains 0-0 in the bottom of the second inning. So the count now full on the third baseman. Shag trying to extend this inning full release and not have it at least on paper be a 1-2-3 inning, but it will be in the end. Melendez gets the strikeout, his second of the game, and the inning is over. With a little help from a 4-1 double play, T3 gets out of the inning without a fuss. To the third we go. Score remains 0-0 here at the Fishbowl.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Fisher Field in Berea, top of the third. No score as you are watching WRCL Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. It'll be Dominic Muratori, Ben Pierce, and Brett Krugman, 9-10-1 duo for T3 in the third. And a good drive will go into center field and fall. It'll be a leadoff single for Muratori. A great way to begin his day. One of the newcomers for T3 in game number 2. And being in the transfer portal, this is a big time for him. Transferring out of Ohio Wesleyan, the former Huron High School man, stands at 6'3", 200. Went 0 for 1 this past season, but looks to find a new home heading into a sophomore season. And this is the film that you have to put out there. And we've talked about it, especially the guys in the portal. Those are the guys who have the most pressure. I would say if we were making a list of guys who have the pressure to perform here, it goes number 1, guys in the portal, then number 2, the JUCO guys. And I mean the uncommitted JUCO guys, which, of course, if you're committed, you're still in a good spot. You know where you're going. But a guy like A.J. Trebenner behind the plate, a guy like Braden Bortnick, that's where the pressure really resides. Those two groups. There's uncertainty on the horizon. And they want to do everything they can to make that uncertainty become more certain. The 0-2 to Pierce will miss for ball one. Of course, Ben Pierce moving out of Tri-C to go to Marietta. Big decision for him, but so far today has looked quite good and wants to make a push to be in the new era of Marietta's plans. Runner goes on the 1-2, and Pierce will take it foul down the right field line. Straighten that one out, you're looking at extra bases. Which again, that has been hard to come by today. We have seen one extra base hit. It was a triple from Bortnick that did not lead to any runs. It has been defense, defense, defense this afternoon and now evening at Fisher Field. Reynolds back to work again for the 1-2, and Pierce will drive this one into right center field, and it's going to be dropped by the center fielder. In and out of DeLulo's glove, and that'll put two runners on with none away. A massive E8 puts Pierce on, and now Krugman at the top of the order will step in, already off a heater this past season at John Carroll. You look at his season, just impressive what he did. 267, 38 RBIs, 15 doubles, 7 home runs, 4 stolen bases in 2026. And early on in the year, won the NCAC Player of the Week. He was absolutely on fire this year, coming out of St. Ignatius High School, moving on up to John Carroll. And it's a big reason why they can compete. But of course, you look at the NCAC and you see a big red at the top of it, really preventing anybody from moving on. Unless they can figure out a way to break down Denison. The 0-1, missing high. After Krugman, it goes to Freyhoff. And Freyhoff, yet another representative of BW playing today. It's at BW. Of course, there are going to be some Yellow Jackets in the lineup. Swing and a miss there from Krugman, making it 1-2. Reached on an error his first time up, one that kind of bounced in and out of, I believe, the third baseman's glove. That one just kind of, in no man's land, got down on the bounce. The Reynolds is 1-2, chopper over towards third. They go to tag the runner, and in the end, they do get the lead man for out number one, it looks like. I think more than that, he just kind of came out of the baseline. So it'll be a basic fielder's choice, bringing us to Freyhoff. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. That's one of those that is gift wrapped for release. You can't let that one get away from you. You get the lead runner, and you reset the situation. Of course, a base hit probably scores a run. You do have to keep that in the back of your mind, and of course, Freyhoff knows this field quite well. Remember this BW squad, a group that made it to Eastlake yet again for the fourth time, in their history, the College World Series. And you look at that recent success they have had all together. Of course, what you have on your screen is not including this year, but 2014, 2022, and 2023. Really impressive what they were able to put together, and they made some good runs. This time, though, a jammy swing into left center field, and it's going to drop in no man's land. And I believe they called it a infield fly, which it went into the outfield, which is an interesting one, but I think because it hangs high over the infield, it's one of those that you say, hey, it looked like trajectory-wise it was going to stay in the infield. In the end, it carries over. It's still one of those you drop, you get the out. I get the point behind it. It's definitely a tough break, but it's not a bad decision. And now Jake Young a chance. Reached on a fielder's choice his first time up, as we have seen so many today. You look at the list, 2 fielder's choices at the top and then 1 here. We've seen 3 fielder's choices in 3 innings. A big obscurity. The 1-0 from Reynolds, a good take from Young. After Jake, it turns to Leo Sonneson in the on-deck circle. So not a bad 1-2 punch here. You go from a guy who had a really good freshman campaign at Mount Union to a guy who dominated OCCAC play. Definitely a good look there. But a 3-0 count in the end. Definitely thought that one was going to be a strike, but of course, our angle not necessarily head on. But a big spot for Andrew Reynolds trying to battle back into this at-bat. Young, sharp grounder up the middle and through into center field. It just escapes. The lead runner, Pierce, will come home and score, and it'll be an RBI single for Jake Young. It is the Purple Raider putting T3 on the board 1-0 in the top of the third. It's something about a Purple Raider at BW. A really interesting one here, as he is a stranger to strange land, so to speak. But no stranger to an RBI single, just sneaking that one through. That ball was just hard to knock down and snuck through at the right time. And now it's Leo Sonessen's turn. Good take for ball one. Trailed for the majority of game number one, won it in the end. In game number two, it's an early lead for T3. I'm sure that is a breath of fresh air for the Warhawks. Sonessen that time will take strike one, evening things up. For release in the third, it'll be Holcomb, Hash, and Trobenner. 8, 9, and 1 due up as T3 looks to continue cruising through this one. Good take on the 1-1 from Sonessen again. A lot of close misses so far from Reynolds this inning, but T3 just being smart at the plate. And plate awareness is everything right now in this game. The smarter you are at the plate, the smarter you are as a baseball player in general. But right now, 4 takes from Sonessen. Splits the difference at 2-2, and now has to get to work. So 2 runners on with 2 away. Andrew Reynolds looking for a way out of this inning. Sonessen, fly ball sent into right center field, and down it goes. 1 run has a chance to score, and it will. It'll be an RBI single for Leo Sonessen, making it 2-0 T3. Just dropped it in perfectly in no man's land. The sun definitely helping out there, but definitely a clean swing and a clean hit. Drops it in. And here comes Luke Perkins, the first baseman. And albeit he didn't stay at Mount Union, but for what it's worth, it'll be the third at least former, if not current, Purple Raider in a row to swing for T3. And after him, it's Jared Carpenter in the on-deck circle who would make it 4. An interesting run of Raiders. Or former. And of course, we've talked about Leo Sonessen as a guy that I wouldn't mind ending up in the MAC. He has the swing for it. He has the know-how. I think if he can put it together, Kent wouldn't be a bad option, or Akron. The 0-1 skips away, and it's a great job reading the down angle. It's a free base. It's now 3-0. Sonessen thought about third, but will stay put at second. You can see how aggressive Young got with that one. He was halfway down the line before the ball even got away from Trobenner. Just figured, okay, I'm going to commit to this one if it gets away. Does just that. And it's a 3 spot. 2 good hits, and then a good pass ball read. This is the inning T3 has been waiting for. Their offense putting the pieces together. The 1-1, and now another good crack falling in center field, this time from Luke Perkins. Sonessen, he will come home. The play at the plate is not in time. Trobenner will knock it down, but it'll be an RBI base knock for Luke Perkins now. Make it 4-0 T3. For the second time this inning, something about a Raider at BW. T3 having a field day with 2 down. And now here comes Jared Carpenter. All the cool Raiders are doing it. He wants to be cool as well. Just what a turnaround for T3. Again, if they win this game, they jump release and move into second place in the WRCL. Top 4 teams from the league do advance to the NABF World Series at the end of July. The 0-1 Carpenter will take. But a swift change in this game. Kind of thought for a second, okay, it would sit at 1-0, and from there, who knows? But clearly not. A dribbler, but foul. If that ball was just strictly fair, that had a chance to be an infield single for Carpenter. Just a squibber off towards short. But for Andrew Reynolds and company, they're definitely glad that they have a chance to get out of this inning with a strikeout here. If Carpenter extends it, it goes to Lex Lear. Either way, at least a 4 spot for T3. They'll take it. The 1-2, Carpenter stays alive. I wonder if these guys during summer ball who are playing off their rivals' field would ever think about that and use that as motivation. And you're at the house of your rival, why not leave a mess? The 1-2 at the 7 o'clock bell is skied off towards the left side of the infield, and it is going to be caught. Reynolds makes the play just across from the rubber, and the inning is over. But a 4 spot for T3 kicks them into high gear. Middle of 3 at Fisher. It is 4-0, T3 cruising on SmeeSports.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Half of the infield now covered by shadows at Fisher Field. The portion right in front of us, it is definitely a lot darker than it is well in front as the sun is still at its apex out towards right field and towards the outfield in general. We'll see if that does impact the play as we continue on to the bottom of the third inning in game number 2. T3 in the driver's seat up by 4. Melendez and company looking to nail it down here to go to the 4th inning with his lead intact. I talked about it the last time Release was batting. It would take at least 4 to beat this T3 team, in my opinion. And now that opinion becomes facts. It would take 5. Again, they just kind of took the fight to them. From there, of course, some dink hits do help, but they played with the cards they were given and made something happen, and Release has to do the same thing here. And not saying this game would go ridiculously late, but if we're playing into the 8:30-ish range, there are no lights. The 3-1 is jammed over towards the right side. It'll be in right field, but caught for out number 1. A nice job by Kreider crashing in. That is not an easy one to easily see the sun. Definitely brutal out and right. And just in general, it is going to be brutal from here on out until it is completely blocked. All it takes is one wrong glance and you are dropping that baseball. I feel like that's kind of how today has gone, but definitely it is going to be more noticeable here. Of course, when game number 1 started, it was completely sunny. The clouds were really doing nothing and same with the shade. But now a completely different story. The 0-1 again there for a strike. Quickly 0-2 on Hash. After the right fielder, it'll turn it over to A.J. Trobanner at the top. Here's the 0-2, and it'll miss. Once again, join us tomorrow over at Warrensville Heights High School, a Summer League doubleheader. Quarterfinal matchups between Rhodes and Warrensville, along with Lutheran West and Massillon Jackson. The 1-2 grounder off towards second base. It's Lex Lear. It's Luke Perkins. It's 2 down. A simple put out by the second baseman, easily done. And now we go to the top with A.J. Trobenner. So far in game number 2, 0-for-1 with a ground out to second. The lefty looking to extend the inning to bring it over to L.A. Mighton. 2 up, 2 down, bottom of 3. And T3 has their best look of the day, up by 4, as Trobenner will wave and miss. Then after tomorrow, we'll most likely be at Kent on Wednesday for 5 games. Should be a fun one as a part of the Kent State /Akron Invite Of course, there are some not so nice weather cycles coming in again. So that could be a 2-game day or a 3-game day, or at least whatever doesn't take me over to Kansas. And there is strike 3 looking at the top of the zone. Melendez hits it perfectly, and as a 1-2-3 inning, Joey Melendez up to 3 punchies on the day. To the 4th we go. It's T3 up by 4 here in Berea.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Top of the 4th inning, T3. Good hitting, good running, good baseball altogether. A 4-0 on release. If this result were to hold, T3 would jump release and move into 2nd place in the WRCL standings. Again, with just over a month to go before the seeding is finalized for the NABF World Series. That ball will go fair, but there's out number 1. A great recovery by Trobenter just in front of the plates. That could have easily gone sideways for release. Lear just kind of jammed it into the ground, but Tro able to come out from behind the plate and make a simple throw in the end. Maybe not the start that either side was expecting, but a good recovery from release brings us to Darren Kreider, the right fielder, 0-for-1 today with a pop out to 2nd base. As well, fans of both teams, reminder that sometime this week, i.e. whenever I actually have time and sit down to do it, there will be a Player of the Week poll for the week of June 8th through today, being June 15th. And yes, I know in the past I said, hey, Monday is going to be the cutoff into the new week, but we had 3 total games last week, and we need more players to nominate. So today is now included as well. Thank Mother Nature. The 1-1, swing and a miss. And of course, go out and vote for this past week's Player of the Week. Your options being Bobby Berglund, Matt McKee, Luke Maxwell, and Brian Lapp. Here's the 1-2, a good drive into right center field. And this one will be tracked down in front of the W in right center. A nice track job there by DeLulo for out number 2. Again, the sun is going to be brutal out there. You have to manage it the right way. I feel like line drives that you have to range over to are going to be the easier place to make. If you're just simply camping under the ball, that sun is going to be right in your eye for a good while. If you know where it's going and you can track it by following it opposed by sitting underneath it, I feel like that's just a more natural motion and a more natural progression going forward. The 1-0 will miss low for ball 2. Dominic Muratori stepping back in. He singled his first time up today. And that was back in the 3rd inning, so not too long ago. And of course, since then, 4 runs have scored for T3, mainly from the top of the order, and specifically the 3-4-5 of Young, Sonoset, and Perkins. The 3-0, it's low for ball 4, and Muratori will take his 2nd base of the day. This one earned it by being patient, opposed to earning it with the swing. So now Ben Pierce in the 9th spot will step back in. He reached on an error from DeLulo and center his first time up, but started with 2 infield base knocks in game number 1. Was pretty solid in that game, had some good speed, and of course, does have some good power behind his swing. I will say, not seeing him play this last year and seeing him in comparison to his freshman season, much improved. He is a better ball player all the way around and is a guy who can be a threat in the OAC going forward. Pierce fouling that one away. Count now 1-1. For release in the bottom of the fourth, it'll be L.A. Mighton, Braden Bortnick, and Andrew Korhoff, 2 through 4 due up. Trying to make up this 4-run deficit as things stand. Pierce will take the 1-1 off the plate for ball 2. As of right now for release, their goal is simply to allow no more damage. And then once their offense is up, battle back. Pierce that time does go on the half-hearted check, and we are even at 2. So deuces on Pierce with 2 away. Krugman at the top of the order resides in the on-deck circle. Pierce stays alive, a good swing foul. A lot of good survival cuts today from T3, especially in game number 2. Once again, I am really impressed with how much better they have played in this game. They've gotten more aggressive. They figured out the little things. That'll help them going forward. Pierce, a good take, as that one just will miss in. So a full count on the DH. That'll most likely put Muratori in motion. 4-0 T3 in the top of the 4th inning. Muratori goes. Pierce will swing and miss. The side is retired. A nice punch out there to close out the top of the 4th inning. And that'll circle us back to the bottom of the frame. 2 through 4 due up for release. Score remains 4-0 T3.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
It's L.A. Mighton leading off for release in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 through 4 due up. 4-0 T3 on top as you are watching WRCL Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Again, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this evening, live from Fisher Field on the campus of Baldwin-Wallace University. As always, a beautiful venue to do a game, just a beautiful sight right up against the fence, and I would say arguably the best seat in the house. Only thing missing are those umpire cams, or in the soccer sense, the referee cams. We need one of those to be added to the broadcast at some point. Of course, the baseball ones that we see now really shaky, so a few years away at least. But a 3-0 start here for L.A. Mighton. 0 for 1 today in game number 2 with a strikeout. For Melendez, this could be his final inning, and he wants to make it a good one. But that'll be a good start for release as there is ball 4. You look at their offense today. You have the 2 walks, both leadoff walks, 1 for Miller, 1 for Mighton. A triple for Bortnick, who now steps in. That's it. 1 hit, 2 walks, no runs. That's how this one has gone so far for Release's offense. And again, we talked about it with T3, with the B2 Bulls and the Mountaineer Lumber Company starting to make their way back in it. Now it's Release having to worry about them. And of course, you can never truly count out that premier team who if it wasn't for running out of pitching, had a great chance to win the WRCL back in 2024. That ball is going to get away from the first baseman, Perkins. And it's a free base in the end. Maybe 2. Trying his luck for 3, and he will get there. So corner-to-corner motion for LA Mighton. Again, that's the risk of making that throw. You also have an on-field bullpen on that side. It's more range where in other instances that would just simply be fenced off. You have to be conscious of that going forward. Good take from Bortnick there on the 0-2. So for Bortnick, now the task is drive in 1 run, and for Karhoff, maybe drive in Bortnick with that speed. Anything to keep it going. The 1-2, another good take from Bortnick, this time wide. Another one of those Tri-C guys that we have seen so many of today. I do think that is the most represented roster outside of BW that we have seen between these two teams. Bortnick, sharp grounder up the middle and through into center field. He is 2 for 2, this time an RBI single. He has been the offense today for release in game number 2, and maybe that'll spark a rally in the bottom of the 4th. He has just been consistently good again. Ever since he came back from that injury during the Tri-C season, he has figured out the little things. His defense, it has gotten better. His offense, so much better. You go back to the last game against Bryan and Stratton, had that home run somehow sneak out. It was one that I don't think really anybody expected to get out, but it did. And going forward, he is going to be a key piece, and even right now, he is going to move forward at least 1 base. He wants 2. And for the second consecutive at-bat, it is a 2-base error on the throw over to first base. Don't hear that one too often. So Bortnick now, first or third action, joining LA Mighton in that category. So Karhoff, an easier chance to drive him in. Good take, backing out for that one. Following Karhoff, it is going to be Miller and DeLulo. If there was ever a time that release would get back in the game, it's here. Swing and a miss from Karhoff. Wanted a lot of that one, couldn't connect though. Now for T3, just based on how this inning is going, how quick are you to get more action in that bullpen? I think you have to speed it up a little bit. Karhoff, good take on the 1-2 to even it up at 2 apiece. Great high school player out of Archbishop Hoban High School, and is going to be a good asset for Ashland this coming season. That time, those swings and misses for out number 1. Melendez up to 4 strikeouts on the evening. And that'll bring us back to Brock Miller. Already an RBI ground out today back in game number 1. And the end was release's only run. And just to put it out there, based on how this game has gone so far, the only runs, whether they be created or driven in, have been sourced from Tri-C players. You look at it in game number 1, Bortnick came around to score on a swing from Brock Miller. Might in the exception, he came in, but Bortnick, a Tri-C player, drove him in. It has been all tops ball. And then on the opposite side, you see a bunch of Mount Union guys doing things. So for here at SmeeSports, when your 2 big college teams are Tri-C and Mount Union, you can't complain. We'll take it. Melendez, though, battling back in now, a 1-2 count. Or actually 2-2. Brock Miller trying to drive in Bortnick from third. And we'll run it full. A good take again. Once again, it is YSU's Ryan DeLulo in the on-deck circle, followed by Grant Shagg. Melendez looking for the second out of the inning. And he will get it. It's strike 3 looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Melendez. He is up to 5 today. And at a big time as well. 2 away as DeLulo will step in. So far 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Or rather, he had the double play. A swing and a miss there. And the 5th for T3. It is going to be the top of the order. Krugman, Freyhoff, and Young due up 1 through 3. The 0-1 bounces in. But Young's blocking has been outstanding this inning. Anybody else back there, there could have been a couple of extra runs by now. Of course, that being some extra runners on as DeLulo puts this one into left field. It'll be an RBI single. And that ball just continues rolling all the way to the fence. DeLulo, he is thinking 3. He is going to stop there. What a swing from DeLulo. We'll see how that one officially developed. It'll be an RBI base knock at least. The question is, did it get all the way through naturally? If so, that would be an RBI triple. We'll see officially how it's scored here. I think that ball just kept rolling. So at least in our book, that'll be an RBI triple for Ryan DeLulo. That makes it 4-2. And a swing and a miss there from Shaq. Now, will the other books score it that way? That I don't know. But at least from the replay, from what I saw, it just kept traveling. Maybe some unlucky hits, but nothing that I would say would be a base error. Of course, a dive can be tipped and not be an error. Of course, the rules of that are kind of finite, where it's, hey, if you make a move that is out of the ordinary and touch it, it's not an error, but that even definition is not concrete as the 1-2 misses wide. Does it really matter? No. Baseball purists say it does, but it really doesn't in the end. It's 4-2. Doesn't matter how it's done. The 1-2 is high. But you at least cut the deficit in half this inning, if not more. You still do have 3 innings, and you do have the last at-bat of the game. You're not in a horrible spot going forward. And there's ball 4. So the inning will continue now to Andrew Holcomb. Tying run at first. Go ahead in the box. After a defensive stalemate, so to speak, a combined 4 runs in game number 1, out to a combined 6. And we're not even through 4 innings yet. It just goes to show how different a game can be against 2 pretty much similar teams. Of course, the big exception to that rule being how many changes we saw from T3. And again, if they can sneak into the NABF World Series, or in this case, run into it because, again, they're in line for second place, they'll have the pitching and potentially overall the depth to go out there and win. Now, if you go in and it's a 25-man limit, you have to tell 5 players goodbye, which is never an easy thing to do. The 2-1, Holcomb putting this one over towards third and foul. And I think, of course, in that case, if that happens, if guys are unavailable, that makes your decision a lot easier. But that is still definitely big picture as this game is far from over. The 2-2, a nice block, and now we run full. But again, Young keeping things in front. As far as a freshman, now sophomore catcher at the collegiate level goes, he has been outstanding. Here's the payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Melendez up to 6 strikeouts on the day. He will get out of the jam. Still 2-run score for release. An RBI single for Bortnick and an RBI triple for DeLulo. We have played 4 in game number 2. We now head to inning number 5. 4-2, it's the Warhawks on top of release on SmeeSports.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Krugman, Freyhoff, and Young lead off for T3 in the top of the 5th inning. Top of the order due up as you are watching WRCL Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. A good battle today between two top teams as both groups look to get a massive win in regard to the standings. Once again, for those just tuning in, if T3 is able to go on and win this game, as that baseball is going to be onto that building and irretrievable. But if T3 wins, they move into second place in the standings. Release if they win, they stay in second place. This ball laced into right field and is caught for out number 1. Again, the sun is going to be brutal from here on out, but a nice catch from Hash. You can just see the discrepancy on your screen already. Had to brighten up the screen in general just to make the bottom pop. And now you look in right field, it's pretty bright. I mean, overall, the shade is really dominating the left side of the diamond. This ball now is skied on the infield off towards the left side and caught for out number 2. So 2 quick outs to begin the inning as Freyhoff is retired there by Bortnick. And that'll bring us over to Jake Young. 2 pitches, 2 swings. Or the 3 pitches, 3 swings, and 2 outs. But everything has been contact. Young, though, will take this one. A strike nonetheless. 4 strikes to begin the inning for Andrew Reynolds. And he is exactly where he wants to be. The 0-1, Young pieces it foul. So quickly 0-2. This will be the longest at-bat of the inning, coming in at least 3 pitches. Which is a really interesting way to put it. The 0-2, Young fouls it back, so we will see it again. But that's the kind of contact that'll make this game really go quick. Again, Reynolds back in it for the 0-2. Young, left side for Bortnick, trying to get his second putout of the inning, and he will. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Release's defense. We will move on to the bottom of the 5th inning. Score remains 4-2, T3.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Before we get back to the action, if you or someone you know is a business owner looking to sponsor broadcasts in the Cleveland or Stark County area, contact us at one of those avenues on your screen, and I would love to work out a deal with you to promote the best of your business and your brand. Thank you, of course, to the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center in CrossFit Strongsville, along with the Western Reserve Collegiate League, for making today's telecast possible. To the bottom of the 5th inning we go, and the call to the bullpen has been made by T3. It is going to be Logan Fridges coming on, a player that plays for a school that we covered down in Stark County in Minerva. The former Lion now plays his ball over at Wilmington College in the OAC. And he'll be tasked with taking down Hash, Trobenner, and Mighton. It'll be 9-1-2 due up for release. Once again, tomorrow we will have some locked-in high school summer league action over at Warrensville Heights High School. 6 o'clock, it is Warrensville Heights versus Rhodes. At 7 o'clock, it is Lutheran West versus Massillon Jackson. Then we'll be back at Warrensville over on Northfield Road for the championships. One semifinal and a championship on Thursday. Same times, same place, as always, on SmeeSports. Should be a fun week, a busy week altogether, but we do have some basketball mixed in. 4 basketball games should be fun, as we rarely do get to see basketball this time of year. But last year, a great win for Hoover in the championship, and overall, video or audio only, this will be our 3rd year covering the championships of this competition. A great little preview, of course, a few months ahead of time to see what we expect out of every team. And, of course, you look at that Warrensville team losing some key pieces but gaining some. They'll be a fun group to watch tomorrow. Bridges is 2-0, fouled back. So now a 2-1 count. The rising junior, 19 innings of work, 34 runs, 30 earned runs total, 14 walks, 10 Ks, and a 14.21 ERA across 2 seasons at Wilmington. The 2-1, a good drive up the middle and through into center field. It's a leadoff single for Tommy Hash. And again, that might be the rally cry release has been waiting for. Simple base hits, that's all it takes going forward. Now the tying run and Trobenner steps in. A quiet day at the plate for him, but of course, as we have seen so many times this past season for Tri-C, he is always one swing away. And once he gets that swing, look out. That one, though, is knotted as he fouls it back. Had the right idea, no 1 count, though. As well, for those interested in what's happening in the World Cup, in the 67th minute, it is Saudi Arabia up 1-0 on Uruguay for some reason. Again, I have no clue. But then again, I'm the same guy who sat through 90 minutes of 0-0 Cabo Verde and Spain soccer earlier on today and enjoyed it, so what do I know? The 1-1 will miss wide for ball 2. And as well, I can tell you this right now, we are building our fall sports schedule right now here at SmeeSports, and we will have a fair amount of Marlington soccer again on the channel as, well, they made it pretty far in the tournament, and they have a pretty darn good squad. So we're going to see them as much as we can. The 2-1 fouled back for ball 3, or count now 2-2, and not to spoil it too far ahead, but we'll have an opening weekend matchup for them over at the middle school in Alliance, as they'll take on Poland Seminary. Should be a good battle. The 2-2 high for ball 3, and we are full. If I had our week 1 football schedule released, I would make that claim, but right now still trying to figure out some things as we are currently between, I would say, 3 different places to go. Trobenner fouls off the full count pitch, and that'll send Hash right back to first. As for volleyball, I believe we have a game in September scheduled, but the schedule, at least early on, not released, and of course, as we mentioned a couple of times, we want to be at Paddable for the first game in their new gym, whenever that is. One more time, the payoff pitch. It's low for ball 4, and that'll put a pair on here for Elliot Mighton. A walk and a strikeout so far for him today, but 2 on, none down. Again, this could be the turning point release has been waiting for. This is where you get it going. As well, time is 7:34, so if we're talking about a game being quote-unquote called due to darkness, I would say we have about an hour 15-ish, just depending on how things go today. Of course, it is lighter later, but will we really play into the 9 o'clock hour with no lights? That remains yet to be seen. I know last Sunday over at Lakewood, we had the lights on at 7. The 1-0 misses low for ball 2. There are a couple of other guys that definitely can pitch today for T3, I believe. Pierce or Muratori would be next after Frigis, if necessary. The 2-0 line drive over towards third and knocked down. There is no play to make anywhere. An excellent extension there from Carpenter to even knock it down, but the bases will load with none down. And here comes Braden Bortnick, 2 for 2 on the day, the hottest bat for this release squad, and a chance for him to give release their first lead of game number 2. And for those trying to keep track of it, home run and double away from the cycle if he's trying to go for that. Not that you would or have enough time, but More power to him, and he might have his double. It's going to drop in right field and roll across the line. 1 run will score, and here comes the tying run easily in. It'll be a 2 RBI single for Braden Bornick, and his great day will continue. Now 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs, and more importantly, we are tied at 4 in the bottom of the 5th, and still none down. If that ball had a little bit more power behind it, that was going to shoot down the line and probably go deep into the corner. And as we return to the action, Karhoff will foul that one back. But still none down. The game is tied. What a chance here for this Release offense to really blow the lid off this game. And now it's an 0-2 count. But once again, with Bortnick being that runner who scored on the DeLulo triple, every run today for Release has had Tri-C DNA all over it, including game number 1. Whether it be the runner, the hitter, or both being at least a former top. It's topsball everywhere. It always has been. And speaking of topsball, a big shout out to Coach Stolberg as his group won the mid-season crown down in Florida. Rocky start to the season, but they figured it out, and again, his group is playing some really good baseball. No surprise at all. But a 2-2 count, and now time is quickly called, as this is where T3 wants to figure it out. And they need to figure it out here. Just Fridges coming out and struggling, still looking for that first out. The question is, who do you warm up, or do you just make that pull if you want to? Of course, in an ideal world, you let him work out of this. But if you go out here and Release plates a bunch, there's really nothing else you can do. And I'm sure Release wants to plate a bunch here. For their standards, a quiet day at the office. But of course, when it's all said and done, we could be box score hunting and seeing a completely different game than what we see right now. The 2-2 ground ball up the middle, sneaking towards short and through into center field. Again, the bases will be loaded, and a good thing they did not send the lead runner in Mighton. He would have been a dead duck at home. But the 3rd consecutive hit, the 4th of the inning for Release. Bases juiced, none down. No one better than Brock Miller. So far today, a walk and a strikeout. Going back to game number 1, an RBI groundout. This was his specialty over at Tri-C. Of course, had that walk-off run roll win over Lorain County a few months ago. And I have been told some out-of-state family is watching Brock, so to the Miller family watching on, welcome in. Always love seeing Brock play. One of the quick fan favorites during our Tri-C time so far, over 2 years. Definitely will be a player that we miss seeing game in, game out for the Tops come next season. The 1-1, Miller takes strike 2. As well, learned that in the fall of his freshman year at Tri-C, he did pitch. And in the end, chose to go and play third base, which is going to Indianapolis, I would say was the right call. The 1-2, Miller takes high. After Braca turns over to Ryan DeLulo, the center fielder. Had that RBI triple his last time up. Fridge is looking for out number 1, but won't get it there as we are full. Patience right now is key for Brock Miller. A walk brings in the go-ahead run for Release in the bottom of the 5th. The payoff pitch, Miller will swing and miss for out number 1. A big out recorded for Fridges, his first strikeout of the day as well. And that'll bring us to DeLulo. If he can hit a triple like he did last time up, this game would be far and away blown open. So plenty of time, but Fridges just trying to continue with that mojo. But he needs to attack here. This isn't a spot where you go and hope you get close. You have to get it in there. I mean, it's not ideal, but you're at the point where you have nowhere else to turn. The 1-0, a nice block again from Young. It's crazy to think that back-to-back seasons, Mount Union had Daniel Tome, who is one heck of a defensive catcher, and now, for the next couple of years, Jake Young. Just incredible to see the top-tier catching talent they have. The 2-0 DeLulo, a ripper into left field and through. Release will take the lead with an RBI single. Boarding will now take the turn from third. He will score. And now here comes Karhoff as well. DeLulo, he will stop at third. The bases will clear, and Release has blown this game open. Make it 7-4 Release. They wreak havoc yet again. It won't be a triple this time. It'll be an RBI single with a few base advancements on top via the error. But it's just as good for Ryan DeLulo. Brings in 3 runs that time, responsible for 4 runs today. And Fridges' day will be done on the mound. What a change in a third of an inning. Release goes from being down 2 to up 3 in the blink of an eye at Fisher Field.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
The call to the bullpen has been made. Ben Pierce now on the mound for the T3 Warhawks. 7-4 your score, bottom of 5. Release has blown this game open down the stretch. And Pierce's first pitch will bounce in for a ball. Fridges right now, 1 strikeout for him. That's how his day will end. But is in line for the loss now. Just a complete 180, or rather a pretty much 360 in this game. 180 more of the accurate terms, but it just feels like such a drastic switch. Release's offense finally put the pieces together, and they are not looking back. Pierce, that time, runs it well inside. An awkward almost second motion there. Kind of thought for a second a bonk could be on the table. I mean, I think, unless I blink, that was a dual arm slot pitch. Kind of is. There's ball 4. And a run will easily score 2. And that ball will go out of play as well. But an interesting one that kind of skips away. That'll make it 8-4. But it looks like Pierce, he starts going down and then kind of angles out of the end. It's an interesting delivery. But as long as T3 can get out of this inning, they don't care how it happens. But for Release, if they can somehow come up with 6 more runs, they're done. Which I think they would not mind that at all. Pierce, though, able to find it again as there is strike 1 to Holcomb. So far today, a fly out and a strikeout in game number 2. Shaq thought about going. Now the 0-1. And again, it's there. Pierce just trying to keep this one where it is. His offense will bring up Sonneson, Perkins, and Carpenter 4 through 6 in the top of the 6th. The 0-2 is to the backstop. That one finally gets away from Young. It really hasn't happened at all today. Just impressive to see how long he has gone without a pass ball just like that. But that time, just too much to overcome. And that'll put a runner over at second. Holcomb trying to drive him in for the 9th run of the day. And a good take there. The on-deck circle after Holcomb. It'll turn over to Hash, who led off the inning. Our nice block there from Young, and we are full. Runner at second, one down, bottom of the 5th inning. And again, you can just feel all the momentum taken away from the Warhawks and is given directly to release. And there's ball 4. So back-to-back walks from Pierce. Hash, who led off the inning with a single, comes back in. And his goal is the same, just continue bringing in runs. Of course, Melendez really had not much left in the tank. Just kind of unfortunate as T3 ran out of pitching at the wrong time. And that's the difference today. Hash, good take for ball 1. Once again, if they come around here and get up to 14, we'd be done in 5. There is no time limit, no nothing here. It's a regular season game. So you just kind of play with what you're given. The 1-0 taken for strike 1 on the top corner. Once we get to the NABF, I believe it'll still be no time limits, but there will be some extra run rules put into effect if we do have a blowout or two. Now the 1-1, well wide. After Hash, it goes to A.J. Trobenner. Walked his last time up, but I think he wants a little bit more than that. He does, I can tell. You can easily tell with him when he wants a little bit more. The 2-1 in there for ball 3. But I will say, of course, if it is a bunch of balls being thrown, that's where you cannot get overly aggressive and give them anything for free. You have to be patient. Pierce just trying to find a second out, and right now a second strike. Runners will go here. It's ball 4 anyway. The bases are loaded. And here comes A.J. Trobenner. Again, has to be patient. But if Pierce gives him the wrong thing, then look out. We saw it this season. We saw it when he was at Lake Catholic. Why would this be any different? 8-4 release. A big inning. Came in trailing by 2. But Trobenner, that's the right move. Take strike 1. Again, he wanted it. You can't get overly aggressive there. You haven't seen enough strikes lately to go out there and go full guns a-blazing on the first pitch you see. And that time, a good take, evening it up at 1 apiece. Time now 7:48. This game starting at around 6:20, so hour and 20 minutes-ish in. The 1-1 skipping in for ball 2. Of course, if he walks here, that'll make it 9-4. And I believe the run rule inducing run would be Bortnick, if I'm doing my math correctly here. The 2-1 taken high for ball 3. Because Tro would bring in the 9th. I think I'm right with that. I think. I'll have to do the math here if this is a walk. And it is. There's ball 4. Back-to-back walks this inning for Trobenner. This one makes it 9-4. So just to count around, 10, 11, 12. LA would be 13. Yes, Bortnick would be 14. So he would be the run rule inducing run. For those keeping score of that. But a 7-run inning for release. A 7-run third of an inning. And they're not done. Mighton tries to do some damage here, and he will drive this one deep to right center field, and it is going to get down for extra bases. An excellent swing from L.A. Mighton. 1 run will score. Here comes 2 and 3. They will both score. Trobenner leads the back of the train. It is a 3 RBI double for L.A. Mighton, and that'll make it 12-4. And all of a sudden, here comes the run rule inducing run in Braden Bortnick. It was impossible until it was, but what a swing from L.A. Mighton. Pieced it absolutely perfectly. It is a 10 spot in a third of an inning for release. What was the quote I said earlier? I think if you averaged out every single team that we've covered every season in summer ball, every level, and see how many runs per game they score, I think Release as an organization would be number one. Days like today, that's why. We saw the 5 spots weekend number 1. Here is a 10 spot. A kill shot in baseball. Again, it's a basketball term. It shouldn't be possible in baseball, but it is. The 1-1. Bortnick will take strike 2. In the on-deck circle, it is Andrew Karhoff who singled his last time up. Pierce looking for a big second out. Bortnick, he will swing and miss, and he is quickly tagged by Young. An excellent job scampering to that one to put this one to bed. So 2 down, and now Karhoff will be the run rule-inducing run. Even if this is the end of the line for this inning, what an inning it was for Release. But if Karhoff gets on, then it becomes Brock Miller's responsibility to try and bring him along. Just crazy to see how quickly this game escalated. It really felt like this was going to be a close game down the stretch, and again, it comes down to running out of pitching. Reynolds right now, if he doesn't have to come back out, is in line for a 5-inning complete game. And that one will hit Karhoff. His dugout's telling him that'll hurt tomorrow morning. They are most definitely correct. And now Brock Miller a chance to close the game. Has to drive in Karhoff to make it happen. 12-4 Release up by 8, already scoring 10 this inning. And as well, make sure you stick with us for our SmeeSports Player of the Game presentation brought to you by CrossFit Strongsville. Definitely a lot of good players up for it, but I think if this result holds, I do have one firmly in mind. And it really shouldn't come as a surprise when we read out his accolades when the time comes. And I think even if this game does go beyond the 5th, it is relatively solidified, barring a cardiac comeback from T3. The 0-1 well wide, the back pick down, not in time. Young nearly had him. But that is the positive of having a catcher and first baseman duo that play college ball together. Perkins and Young on the same wavelength. I love that idea. Again, this game, at least on the surface level, appears to be over. But these guys are still going to battle. These are free reps, essentially. You don't really have the pressure. You know what's going to happen next. Good block there from Young. And again, if we're talking strictly stuff that really won't show up on the stat sheet, Young has played out of this world. All the stops that he has made behind the plate, and just like that, it's just so effortless. He is going to be a big catcher for Mount Union in the next couple of years. And in this age of transfers and everything, Mount needs to make sure he stays. Plain and simple. Miller swings and fouls that one back to Young, and we are full. And as well as a Mount Union student, he needs to stay. We need him behind the plate. And again, he shows why. But a full count here on Brock Miller, 3-2. Pierce looking to end the inning, but Miller stays alive. Again, this is a former Tri-C battle here. You look at this going forward, you have Brock, who, of course, finished out his time at Tri-C. Then you also have Ben Pierce, who transferred out a hair early. The payoff pitch, it's low for ball 4, and the bases will be loaded. Ryan DeLulo, a chance to close it out here. And it looks like time might be called by T3. And in the end, not. DeLulo swings and misses at the first pitch. He sees 0-1 the count. 2 down for Ryan DeLulo. His second at-bat of the inning, an RBI single his first time up. The 0-1 taken for ball 1. Winning run stands at second for Release. Trying to cap off what has been a outstanding inning. The 1-1 backs him out for ball 2. Back-to-back walks would also do the job, even if it is anticlimactic. But Release feels they have done enough to walk out of here already with the win. Pierce's 2-1 is high for ball 3. And again, Young is keeping everything in front. That is the big bright spot going forward for T3. And especially for Young. He has played outstanding behind the plate. Pierce's 3-1 will miss for ball 4. Back-to-back walks. This one an RBI walk. That'll make it 13-4. And this will be the last at-bat of the inning. It cannot go any further. It'll be Grant Shag, the third baseman. 2 walks and a strikeout today, trying to close it out. Pierce, he will be taken out of the game. One last-ditch effort here to extend this game into the 6th. T3 will have a new pitcher when we return to Fisher Field in Berea.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Lex Lear on the mound. One task. Get this game into the 6th inning. Sharp ground ball over to short. And he will do his job. There is out number 3 at second. And we will indeed see the 6th inning. Got the job done on one pitch. A good swing from Shang, just right to the defense. And a long inning. An inning that has brought about 11 runs. Is done, but the game is not. We play on to the 6th, 13-4 Release, up by 9 on SmeeSports. Incredible from T3, somehow in some way expanding this one.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Well, somehow in some way we play on to the top of the 6th inning. Lex Lear was brought on for one job and one job only, and that was to extend the game, and he did just that. How? I don't really know, but the fielder's choice gets it done, and it'll be Leo Soneson, Luke Perkins, and Jared Carpenter up to bat here, 4 through 6 for T3. And if they're to somehow get back in this game, they need a rally, and it needs to start right now, as again, the sun is starting to set behind us. That is part of it. You're running out of time, but you're also starting to run out of daylight. There is the 8 o'clock bell behind us, but Soneson, a good rip into left field. It drops for a leadoff single. Can T3 do the impossible? It's a good start. Soneson now 2 for 3 on the day. And that'll bring us to Luke Perkins. I think T3, they just want to go out here and have some fun to see what kind of carnage they can cause. Again, if they can get some runs on the board here and make this one close, that would be impressive. You never know. So far today for Luke Perkins, an RBI single and a walk. The offense hasn't been bad, that's the thing. They just ran out of pitching at the wrong time, which if Lear can come on and shove, they have a chance going forward. But again, it would take, trying to think of the way to describe this. It would take maybe the greatest comeback of all time in Ohio Summer Bowl to win this game. The 1-1, Perkins thought about it, but takes. They will appeal, and they say no. And I think T3's dugout was trying to say he went for a second. It's an interesting one, but they're having fun with this just crazy scenario. And Perkins is 2, a deep shot to left field, and it is gone! A 2-run shot for Luke Perkins, and that'll make it 13-6. Just snuck it over the fence. T3 wanted to play to the 6th inning, and this is why. How in the world did that ball get out? A 2-run shot for Luke Perkins. And again, the Mount Union student in me is absolutely loving that swing. I don't think he hit one for Mount this year. He better do it again next year. I'm expecting it now. I'm going to hold him accountable to that. But we continue now as there is ball one high and into Jared Carpenter. Well, usually when we put a player on the graphic, it is typically their doom. It's either A, they don't show up for the game, or B, they don't do anything. Luke Perkins today has 3 RBIs, 2 hits, and a walk. He has lived up to that hype. The 2-0, now it's Carpenter down in left field. And he might be thinking 2. He is thinking 2. And he is going to get to 2. It is a double now for T3. Again, something about a Purple Raider at Fisher Field. Single, 2-run homer, double to begin the 6th. We're up to 19 combined runs. How crazy can this one get? Just incredible. Never in my wildest imagination did I expect this. And of course, for release, do they have any pitching left? Who has the pitching, if anybody? Does it matter at this point? I don't think so. The 1-0 is taken for strike 1. Well, it's the man who got us here, Lex Lear, stepping in. A ground out and a strikeout for him today. But what a bizarre day at the ballpark. Swing and a miss there from Lear. I mean, overall in the sporting world today, the Cape Verde-Spain tie, Uruguay right now tying with Saudi Arabia, or this? What is the weirdest thing that has happened today? Maybe this just might be. The 1-2 Lear will take for ball 2. Time 8:04 p.m. And I guess in some weird way we are far from done. Now here comes the 2-2, lofted high, and we are full. In the on-deck circle, it's Darren Kreider. How far can T3 go? And now, pitcher takes a second to step off the mound. But for those just tuning in, a really obscure last couple of innings. Lear, sharp grounder, through again into center field. Carpenter, he takes the turn from 2. The relay home, it's not in time. Cut off, throw to 2. There is the tag. He is out for out number 1, but that'll still bring in a run, making it 13-7. An RBI single for Lex Lear. The 4th consecutive hit of the inning for T3. But now the bases will be empty for Kreider. Again, the fact that they've even taken this game to this point is beyond impressive. A great throw, of course, from Schrobenner. Can't take that away from him, but is that even the talking point right now? I don't really think so. And again, that run rule that was once going to be in effect is not really close anymore. That one hits him. So a runner right back on for Muratori, who is 1 for 1 today. Just unbelievable what has happened. Andrew Reynolds still on the mound. I think he is the ride or die at this point. For those just tuning in, at the top of the 5th inning, this game was 4-2. It is now 13-7. An inning later. 4 outs later, actually. It's 13-7. And oh, by the way, the team that was winning in that exercise of the 4-2, no, they're not winning right now. Just shows how bonkers this game really has been. Runner goes, pitches high, throw down to second. It gets through, and Kreider will take 3rd. Really shows how interesting this one is. Gets a couple extra paces on that one. Run number 8 now in scoring position. In a crazy sense for the top of the order coming up, if you can continue to hit around here, we'll have a game at the bottom of the 6th. Pierce fouls that one back now, 1-2. As well, make sure you do stick with us for our Player of the Game presentation, brought to you by CrossFit Strongsville. And I'm not going to lie, I have no clue where I am going with it anymore because of how crazy this turnaround has been. The 1-2, Pierce grounder over towards 3rd. Picked up on the run, throw to 1. It is going to get away from the first baseman. Holcomb couldn't glove it. It'll be an RBI, making it 13-8. Pierce just beats it out. It's a 5-run game. 15 combined runs, 4 outs. That's what we have seen in the last half hour. And again, with the sun going down, do we even see the 7th inning? This is just going to be one of those crazy games that you look at the box score and say, hey, this one was relatively decided early. Then you look at how it happened. And you're going to be asking yourselves, and I'm asking myself the same question, how? How we got here is beyond me, but a 0-2 count on Krugman. Fielder's choice error and a flyout for him so far today in this really wild outing. Runner goes, swing and a miss. And he will take his base. Pierce with the stolen base. 2 down now. As here comes Freyhoff. Again, if you had the pitching, how different would this game be? Maybe not too different, maybe not. But how different is this game with a little bit of pitching? And there is strike one at the top of the zone. So an 0-1 count, just still crazy that it's 13-8. All things considered. And now it's 0-2. 0-2 count, 2 down, runner at second. Krayhoff again. He will stay alive. This one's towards the parking lot. And maybe it hit a car, maybe not. No horns as of yet. Of course, you hear those horns, you know exactly what happened. Runner goes to the 0-2. Ground ball up the middle over towards second. The throw to 1, it's low but in time. And this crazy inning will come to a close. Another absolutely bonkers frame. T3 will plate 4. And we will move now to the bottom of the 6th inning. 13-8. It's a 5-run game. T3 looking to hold release when we return.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Fisher Field, bottom of the sixth inning. 13-8 your score, and once again, in the top of the fifth, it was 4-2. This game has completely gone off the rails, and we have seen more offense than we thought we'd ever see in this game, but here we are, still playing somehow in some way. And a big reason why Lex Lear, he stays on the mound for T3 as he looks to skip them into the seventh inning. Their offense, though, they played at 4 in the sixth. If they can put the pieces together, somehow in some way could force a even crazier bottom of the seventh inning, which of course is unlikely, but given how this game has gone, you never know. I just have no way to describe this game other than stupid at this point. It's just crazy that we've gotten this far. Eventful, Trebender says, I mean, I get where you're coming from with eventful. At the same time, one ground ball goes a different way, we're done. 14-4 instead. We have 13-8. Once again, as we have a high-scoring game today, if you want a high-scoring game, tune in tomorrow for some basketball. Warrensville Rhodes, Jackson Lutheran West, 6 and 7 o'clock start times. And there is the late strike call, making it full on Holcomb. Rhodes will be the home team in game number 1 against Warrensville, and game number 2, Jackson will be the home team against Lutheran West. Payoff pitch, did he go? The answer is yes, 1 up, 1 down, and Lear will get his first strikeout of the day. Holcomb does not think he went. It was close. I don't necessarily think he went either, but it could be one of those, it's late in the game, you kind of just say, hey, it's close, 1 down. But Lear has looked quite good since coming out, albeit a very small sample, but 2 batters face 2 outs. You can't do anything more than that, really. And he continues to find the zone. As for the Warhawks, it is going to be Young, Sonneson, and Perkins due up in the top of the 7th inning. Again, something about a Purple Raider here. The 0-1 skips in, and to the backstop it goes. And the good Samaritan, A.J. Trebender, will go and fetch that one from the backstop. Doing his job as a man on deck. Nobody does it anymore. People need to actually do their job on deck. And there he is on your screen. The 1-1 poked foul over into that parking lot next to us. I debated leaving my car over there because it'd be easier to clean up. I am glad I did not. Of course, you have to kind of gauge who is actually playing here to decide if you want to do that or not, which was an easy decision to say no. Lear's 1-2. He has faced 3 batters, has 3 outs and 2 strikeouts. 2 down now in the bottom of the 6th. What a game for Lex Lear out of nowhere. And we will go back to the top with A.J. Trobenner. A pair of wonks in the 5th inning. Once again, 3 through 5 due up for T3 in the top of the 7th inning, down by 5. And believe it or not, we will still have a game entering the top of the 7th. Trobenner good take high for ball 1. Still some positives for T3 to take out of here, and the big one, of course, is, you know what? We can hit. And they proved that in game number 2. The 1-0 skips in as Trobender will get out of the way of that one. After him, it goes to L.A. Mighton. Now, the question is, does Reynolds come back out for the 7th inning, as I heard he's in the 100s? Okay, he's coming back out for the 7th inning. He appears to be good to go. Is he? I don't know. I'm in no place to say, but we'll see what happens. The 2-0 Trobender ground ball knocked down at third. Carpenter's throw to 1. It is not in time. Perkins can't pick it. An excellent effort across the diamond to try and get the unlikely outs. Again, that would have been a Purple Raider connection. But Trobender will take his infield single. I think the pitch limit's 125 in this league. It might be collegiate. It might be just kind of, no, there is no pitch limit. But if that is, I think he's going to test the limits and see how far he can go. But I respect it. It's really weird, as the last 2 years we covered the WRCL, as that ball goes towards the parking lot where my car is, so I'm not too happy about that one. It's going to be okay for now, but the WRCL is primarily a you pitch 4 innings, you're done kind of league. If you pitched 5, it was really out of the ordinary. But now, back-to-back games, you have 2 guys for release going 100+. The 0-1, swing and a miss. But I do like that competitive nature. You want to make this a true summer league where guys pitch the 1, 2, 3 prescribed amounts. You need them to actually go out there and compete. And, well, we're seeing it right now from Reynolds, which, impressive from him. Just really blown away that he's going back out there if he can. And if he gets it done, more power to him. Lear takes his time before the 0-2. Mighton plays this one over towards short. The throw across the diamond is true, and the inning is over. No damage done for release in the bottom of the 6th inning. And we go to the top of the 7th. T3 needs 5 to tie, 6 to take the lead when we return to Fisher Field. It's all the offense in game number 2 here at the Fishbowl.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Before we get back to the action, I was just looking around the field and just seeing just how crazy this game has gone. Then I look over to left field and see Brock Miller warming up with a football opposed to a baseball. If anything were to epitomize how crazy game number 2 has been, I think it's the fact that Brock just warmed up with a baseball and left. Or not a baseball, a football. That just shows the craziness that we have seen. But here we are, top of the 7th, 13-8. And the first pitch is high for ball 1. It'll be Young, Sonneson, and Perkins, 3 through 5 due up. Again, all those guys, at least for a time in their career, have spent time at Mount Union. And Young, a shot into left field, but right to Miller for out number 1. You know what? I talked about him warming up with the football. It's okay. He made the catch. Maybe it helped him. Who knows? But 1 up, 1 down to begin the top of the 7th, and that'll bring us to Leo Sonneson, 2 for 3 today. A pair of singles and a fielder's choice for him. Once again, stick with us after our final out and after our final commercial break, as we will announce our player of the game presented by CrossFit Strongsville. As well, the time now 8:20. It has gotten late here in Berea. Again tomorrow, 6 and 7. Rhodes Warrensville at 6. Jackson Lutheran West at 7 at Warrensville Heights High School as Sonneson puts this one fouled on the right field line. Once again, a massive shout out to Chris Walker and everybody over at the Lockton High School Summer League for having us out again for the third straight summer to cover the championship rounds. Tomorrow, 2 quarterfinals, then a semifinal and championship to follow on Thursday. The 1-1, Sonneson takes high for ball 2. As well, we will welcome back Gabriel Koza on the mics tomorrow. Excited to have him as we'll have a lot to talk about basketball-wise with some big transfers happening in Northeast Ohio. And then we're back to baseball on Wednesday, which we'll have some more discourse on. Of course, the transfers and how it's working, but it'll be a Kent and Akron invite. 17U, so a lot of guys who are working to get some offers. And of course, today, I believe today is the first day that the class of 2028 can be contacted. So a big time right now for high school and, well, travel ball athletics as you look at that 16U age group that we cover all the time. Those guys can now be contacted. The 3-1 will miss for ball 4 to Sonneson. He will reach for the 4th time today. Can Perkins do it again? Already 1 home run today, has the 2-run shot, has an RBI single and a walk. He has had a heater today. Can he continue it in the top of the 7th inning? T3 needs 5. They have 2 outs to play with. Perkins, he will take strike 1. And this is where we have to check the pitch count just to see how outlandish of a number it is going to end up being. Perkins, though, quickly down on the count at 0-2. 2 great pitches there from Andrew Reynolds. So he's just a little bit below 100. He's nearing it. The 0-2, he will put it over towards the right side. It's a simple put out at first for out number 2. And that'll bring us to Jared Carpenter, the last line of offense for T3. I believe that was pitch. Okay, it looks like it's a little bit delayed. So around 104. He's at 112. The one game changer has him at about 105. So we'll see here what the official release game changer has him at. Official game changer has him at around 119 as this ball is caught over at short and the game is over. That was pitch number 119 for Reynolds. He gets out of it with a complete game win. 13-8 your final. A game that could have ended 14-4. T3 battles, they extend the game. And in the end, make it a 5-run matchup. But overall, the Honors spoiled today and splits. 2 good baseball teams battling. Release will remain in second place in the WRCL. And when we return, we will announce our player of the game presented by CrossFit Strongsville as you are watching WRCL Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Fisher Field in Berea. 13-8, your final in game number 2 of the day. 13-8, a crazy game. Release scores 11 in 1 inning. Just falls short of the run rule win. They have to play the rest of the game out, and T3, they battled tooth and nail here. They forced this game through, and in the end, just fell short. They now fall to 4-4-1 on the year. Release 5-2-1 on the year. But your player of the game presented by CrossFit Strongsville, I alluded to it earlier. You kind of have to put the middle part of this game kind of out of mind. You have to keep in mind here that a lot of runs scored, a lot of guys did things. But early on in the game, the reason why it was competitive and the reason why they were able to mount this was Braden Bortnick. End of the day, 3 RBIs, 3 base hits, 3 for 4. And for that effort, he is your player of the game, presented by CrossFit Strongsville. Boards defense as well, top tier again, this time for release. And as he heads into a sophomore year at Tri-C, he is looking for yet another big campaign of Tops Ball. To stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and TikTok, SmeeSports LLC on Facebook and LinkedIn, and SmeeFest 2024 on Twitter. As well, go down below and subscribe. While there is no added cost, it greatly helps out all that we do here at SmeeSports as we cover the best of the Cleveland and Stark County areas. We have 4 basketball games this week. We have 2 tomorrow, 6 p.m. Warrensville versus Rhodes, 7 p.m. It is going to be Massillon Jackson versus Lutheran West. Those games are a part of the locked-in high school Summer League over at Warrensville Heights High School. Should be a good battle. Thursday we'll have a semifinal matchup which will feature the winner of Rhodes and Warrensville and the winner of Glenville and Canton McKinley. Wednesday should have some baseball games over at Kent. Friday, Saturday are off days, and then Sunday, 5 games over at the University of Akron's Skeels Field. Should be a fun day of baseball, 1 early matchup, and then 4 as a part of the Kent State Invite Championship rounds. Overall, a fun weekend of baseball coming up, as always, on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. One more thing before we sign off. If you want to become a broadcast sponsor, information is on your screen as to how you can get in contact with us. One more time, a special shout out to the Healthy Shoe Chiropractic Center in CrossFit Strongsville. Goes out to them for making today's broadcast possible, along with the WRCL. But that'll do it for us here tonight at Baldwin Wallace's Fisher Field. A great win for Release, 13-8 in game number 2. A crazy matchup, all things considered. The runs were here. The defense, it was more in game number 1, but still a fun doubleheader to begin our WRCL coverage for the 2026 season. But this is Nathan Smee signing off for Maria, and we will see you again next time. This has been WRCL Baseball on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Thank you all, as always, for tuning in, and we will see you again next time.